Imagine the creeping sensation of being watched, but when you turn around, there's no one there. This is the eerie reality of the unseen presence, a motif that has long haunted the annals of horror stories. It's an enigma that dwells in the shadows, a chilling presence that you can't see, but can certainly feel. It's the whisper of a presence that makes your hairs stand on end, the feeling of being watched from a corner of a room that's empty. Our first tale today revolves around a man named John, who found himself ensnared by this very feeling. John, a solitary figure, lived alone in an old house that had been passed down through generations. He was no stranger to its every creak and groan, but something felt off. He felt eyes on him, a prickle on the back of his neck, an eerie sense of being watched that seemed to pervade the atmosphere. As the days turned into weeks, this sense of unease grew into a gnawing paranoia. He began to notice inexplicable events. Objects moved from their original locations. Strange noises echoed at night, and a feeling of dread seemed to hang in the air. One day, pushed to the brink, John decided to investigate. Armed with courage and a flashlight, he descended into the basement, the epicenter of the inexplicable occurrences. As he combed through the dust-filled room, his flashlight beam fell upon an anomaly. A wall, slightly off-colored and out of place. Summoning every ounce of courage, John broke down the wall to reveal a hidden room. A room that had been occupied. Signs of habitation were clear. A makeshift bed, empty food cans, and the most chilling discovery, a small hole in the wall that looked directly into his living room. John's heart pounded in his chest as the reality of his situation sank in. The unseen presence was not just a figment of his imagination. It was real. It was there, living in the hidden room. The feeling of being watched was not paranoia, but a terrifying reality, a chilling tale of the unseen presence that lived right under his roof. Have you ever heard a tune so haunting it sends shivers down your spine? In a quaint little town lived an incredibly talented violinist, a virtuoso of her craft. One day she received a package with no return address. Inside was an exquisite antique violin, worn by time but still possessing an undeniable charm. Intrigued and excited, she cradled the instrument in her hands, feeling an inexplicable connection with it. The violinist, ever so curious, drew the bow across the strings and the violin sang. The melody that filled the room was eerie yet beautiful, almost as if the violin had a mind of its own. It was a sonorous symphony of sorrow and longing, a tune she had never heard before but seemed to seep from the very soul of the instrument. Each note was a ghostly whisper, echoing in the silence of the room, casting a chilling yet captivating spell. Days turned into weeks, and the violinist found herself drawn to the haunting melody. She played it over and over again, every note, every chord, every haunting refrain. It was as if the song was a living entity, breathing and pulsating with an unseen life force. At times it would play even when she wasn't touching it, an ethereal concert for an audience of one. The climax of our tale takes a turn for the uncanny. One fateful night, the violinist found herself awakened by the familiar strains of the haunting melody. There, in the moonlight, she saw a spectral figure standing by her violin, a hand outstretched, playing the melancholic tune. The figure turned towards her, revealing a face filled with sorrow. In that moment, she realized the truth. The haunting melody was not just a tune. It was a desperate plea from beyond the grave, a cry for help from the violin's previous owner, trapped in the spectral realm. The haunting melody was not just a tune, it was a desperate plea from beyond the grave. Children are known for their innocent play, but what happens when that playmate is not of this world? Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between the arms of nature, there lived a curious young boy named Sam. His playground was the expansive forest that lay beyond his backyard, where he would often disappear only to return with tales of a unique friend. A friend who was not seen by anyone else, a friend who Sam claimed was a ghostly child. The boy's parents, like any rational adults, dismissed these tales as a product of Sam's fertile imagination. After all, children often invent invisible friends, but Sam's friend was different. He didn't just simply exist in Sam's stories. He interacted with the physical world. Toys would move on their own, the swing would sway without a breeze, and laughter would echo in the emptiness. As time passed, The playful yet chilling interactions between Sam and his ghostly friend became more frequent, and the parents' disbelief began to waver. There was an air of eerie unease that began to shroud their home, a sense of being constantly watched. Yet, they chose to ignore it, attributing it all to their overactive imaginations. Then came the day that would change their lives forever. Sam was playing near the edge of a steep cliff, his ghostly friend allegedly by his side. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gave way. As he was about to plunge into the abyss, a force yanked him back, saving him from a sure death. There were no other humans around. It was as if an invisible hand had pulled him back. The parents, still shaken from the near tragedy, could no longer deny the existence of the ghostly child. Their fear subsided, replaced by a strange sense of gratitude. They realized that this spectral entity, this ghostly child, was not a threat. Instead, he was a guardian, a protector. The ghostly child was not just a figment of the boy's imagination, he was a guardian from the other side. Family heirlooms carry history, but what if that history is cursed? Imagine a woman. Let's call her Jane. Jane was a woman of simple pleasures, content with her ordinary life until one day she inherited a necklace. But this was no ordinary necklace. It was a family heirloom, passed down through generations, an antique piece of jewellery that held a mysterious allure. Its ornate design and the sparkle of the gemstones caught Jane's eye. Little did she know it was just the beginning of a tale that was anything but ordinary. Jane began wearing the necklace every day. It was then the strange occurrences began. It started with small things, things one could easily brush off as mere coincidences. The light bulbs would flicker when she entered a room. The radio would switch stations on its own, but then the incidents escalated. She started experiencing a streak of bad luck. She lost her job, her pet fell sick, and she was involved in a minor car accident. As these misfortunes piled up, Jane felt a cold shiver down her spine. Was it all just a string of bad luck, or was there something more sinister at play? She found herself drawn to the necklace. The beautiful heirloom that was once a symbol of her lineage now seemed to be the harbinger of her misfortunes. Jane's curiosity turned into an obsession. She started researching her family history, diving deep into the past. She discovered a chilling truth. The necklace was cursed. It had brought ruin to every woman in her family who had dared to wear it. Now Jane was faced with a daunting task. She had to break the curse. She sought help from various sources, from historians to spiritual healers. She journeyed through the shadows of her family history, fighting against the tide of misfortune, desperate to break free from the curse that had plagued her family for centuries. The cursed heirloom was not just a piece of jewelry, it was a chain of misfortunes waiting to unfold. Justice is blind, but can it see beyond the grave? Let's delve into the tale of a judge who was haunted by the spectre of a man he had unjustly sentenced. Judge Harold, a stern man of law, was known for his unyielding justice. But one case left a mark on his conscience. He sentenced a man named Thomas to death, despite the lack of concrete evidence, swayed by the public's cry for justice. However, the echoes of the gavel's bang were soon replaced by spectral whispers in the night. Thomas, now a ghostly figure, haunted Judge Harold's dreams, his pleas for justice echoing through the silent halls of the judge's home. The judge woke up to cold chills and the lingering scent of prison grime, a haunting reminder of the cell where Thomas spent his last days. As the eerie events escalated, Judge Harold was driven to re-evaluate the case. He started to dig deeper, going beyond the courtroom testimonies and public opinion. He delved into the forgotten alleys, dug up old evidence, and interviewed witnesses once more. The quest for truth became an obsession, his every waking moment consumed by the ghostly whispers for justice. The climax of this haunting tale came when Judge Harold unearthed an overlooked piece of evidence. A forgotten alibi, a witness who was never called, and the realization of a grave mistake. Thomas was innocent. The gavel that once sealed his fate now echoed through the courtroom again, this time to proclaim his innocence. As the words "innocent" echoed through the room, the ghostly figure of Thomas appeared one last time. A smile of gratitude on his spectral face, a nod of acknowledgement, and then he faded away, finally at peace. The courtroom was left in stunned silence. The final verdict was not just for the living, but also for the dead seeking justice. It was a chilling reminder that even in the realm of spirits, the quest for justice never ends. Fear is more than an emotion, it's a journey into the unknown. We embarked on a journey tonight, a journey into the heart of fear, through tales that chilled our bones and kept our hearts pounding. We started with the unseen presence, a tale of a spectral entity that left its eerie mark on the living world, stirring up dread with every unseen step. The feeling of being watched, a presence felt but not seen, a mystery that remains unsolved. Then came the haunting melody, a song that resonated from the void, an ethereal tune that echoed through the night, stirring memories and inciting fear. The melody that was heard but the source remained unknown, a chilling reminder of the power of the unseen. Our third tale, The Ghostly Child, reminded us of the innocence that can be found even in the most terrifying of circumstances. The spectral image of a child, a presence that was felt, heard but never truly seen, a mystery that left us questioning the boundaries between the known and the unknown. The cursed heirloom took us deeper into the realm of the unseen with its tale of an object carrying a dark, unseen force. A legacy of fear, a curse that is felt but never seen, a testament to the horrors that the unknown can hold. Our journey concluded with the final verdict, a tale that blurred the lines between reality and the supernatural, between the seen and the unseen. The final decision that left us questioning, left us fearing the unknown. Each tale carried a common theme, a journey into the unseen, the unknown. These stories serve as chilling reminders of the world beyond our understanding, of the mysteries that lie in the shadows, and of the fear that the unseen can instill in us. But let us not forget, fear is not always a negative force. It can be a catalyst for curiosity, for understanding, for growth. Remember, the unseen and the unknown are not always to be feared. Sometimes they are merely misunderstood.